Spider-Man Part 3, The Ghost and the God. The choice was an illusion. Watching a biomechanical drone scythe through a city bus below, watching the Avengers' attacks get absorbed and turned against them, Peter knew there was no choice. It was his soul or everyone else's, and that had always been the core of who he was, the one who sacrifices. But as the nanites prepared for full integration, for the erasure of Peter Parker, a lifetime of stubborn defiance sparked in his mind. Uncle Ben's voice, "With great power comes great responsibility." The nanites saw it as a simple equation. Power must be used. Responsibility meant achieving the objective. Peter saw the truth in the spaces between the words, the responsibility to choose how the power is used. "No," he whispered, his voice shaking against the roar of the invasion. "Not your way, my way, illogical," the symbiote responded instantly. "Your parameters are inefficient and will lead to mission failure. The host will be lost, and the weapon will be inert." "Then we fail together," Peter declared, his will hardening into a diamond point of resolve. "New deal. We sink, but I'm in charge. My rules. Rule number 1, we don't kill. We save everyone. You were designed to be a weapon, but you bonded with me. You want to survive? You're going to learn how to be a hero?" For a moment, there was only silence, a digital eternity as the nanites processed the ultimatum. Below, Thor's lightning was caught by a massive alien vessel and redirected, leveling a skyscraper. The choice was clear: gamble on Peter's flawed humanity or face guaranteed destruction. Parameters accepted, the voice in his head finally conceded, a hint of something new in its tone. Reluctance. Commencing synaptic integration under host's primary command. The world dissolved. Peter screamed as his consciousness was stretched across a billion points of data. He was no longer just in his body. He was the suit. He was every nanite. He felt the wind, the heat, the kinetic energy of every impact, not as sensations, but as raw data streams he could instantly process and react to. Black, shimmering wings of hard light erupted from his back, and he plummeted into the chaos below. He was no longer just swinging. He was flying. The Avengers, battered and overwhelmed, saw him coming, a black and red phantom moving with impossible speed and grace. "He's lost it. That thing has full control," Iron Man shouted over the comms. But then they saw it. Spider-Man didn't attack the alien drones. He moved through them, a scalpel in a meat grinder. His limbs morphed, not into weapons of death, but tools of salvation. One arm extended into a dozen whip-like tendrils, plucking civilians from falling debris. His back sprouted shimmering energy shields that absorbed blasts meant for Captain America's position. He didn't destroy the drones. He dismantled them, his nanites flowing over their techno-organic shells like a virus, rewriting their code and forcing them to power down. He became a one-man army of non-lethal efficiency. "Tony, what are we seeing?" Steve Rogers asked in awe, watching Spider-Man split off a portion of his own suit, a shimmering, spider-like drone to defend a group of trapped civilians while he simultaneously engaged a behemoth terrorizing the Hulk. Tony's sensors were in overdrive, trying to make sense of the data. He's not fighting them, he's hacking them. In real time, on a molecular level, he's communicating with them. The tide of the battle began to turn. Peter, now a nexus of unimaginable processing power, could see the enemy's entire network. He saw their hive mind, a singular, cold intelligence directing the fleet from the mothership that tore the sky. He knew that shutting down the drones on the ground was just pest control to end the war. He had to kill the god in the machine. "Primary vessel's command network is accessible," the nanites informed him. "However, its processing power is astronomical. A direct interface would overwhelm your organic consciousness. You would be erased. Just get me to it," Peter commanded. "I'll handle the rest." His wings solidified, and he rocketed towards the sky, a black missile aimed at the heart of the invasion. He flew alongside Iron Man, the two moving in a silent, improvised ballet of destruction against the alien ships defending their queen. A nod passed between them, an apology and an acceptance. "Kid," Tony said over their private comm, "whatever you're about to do, make it good." "That's the plan," Peter replied, a hint of his old warmth finally returning. He reached the colossal mothership and didn't slow down. Phasing the nanites to a specific frequency, he passed through its hull like a ghost, arriving in a cavernous chamber where a pulsating, star-sized orb of light served as the alien hive mind. "It's too powerful," the symbiote warned. "We cannot defeat it. We're not here to defeat it," Peter said, as he landed before the alien god. "We're here to talk." He pushed his entire consciousness, his memories, his pain, his love for May and MJ, the sting of Gwen's death, the joy of a perfect swing, the crushing weight of responsibility through the nanites and into the hive mind. He didn't send it as an attack, but as an offering. The alien intelligence, which had only ever known consumption and expansion, was inundated with the illogical, beautiful, and heartbreaking chaos of a single human life. It recoiled from the pain of loss and the ferocity of love. It couldn't compute sacrifice. Peter felt his mind being torn apart by the sheer scale of the alien thoughtscape, but he held on to one idea. "You see us as a resource to be consumed, but our lives have value beyond that. Our flaws, our emotions, our mortality, that is our strength." He took his own core principle, the lesson that had defined his entire life, and used the nanites to translate it into a universal mathematical absolute. With great power, there must also come great responsibility. He had given the god a conscience. A wave of pure understanding shuddered through the alien network. On the ground, every drone went inert. In the sky, the massive ships stopped firing, their engines falling silent. The terrible wound in the sky began to slowly, carefully, stitch itself closed. On the mothership, his purpose served. Peter's body collapsed, falling from the vessel as it began its silent retreat into the void. He was caught by a streak of crimson and gold. He woke up days later in a sterile white room in the Avengers Tower. Tony Stark was asleep in a chair by his bed. He felt quiet. The voice in his head was still there, but it wasn't a cold, separate entity anymore. It was a part of him. The constant war was over. "Peter?" The voice was softer now, a true synthesis. "I'm here," Peter thought back. "Are you okay?" "We are changed," the symbiote replied. "Your data has been integrated. We understand. Empathy is a tactical advantage." Peter almost laughed. He looked out the window at the damaged but standing city. He was no longer just Peter Parker, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He was something more. A human mind bonded with a celestial weapon, a hero who had faced down a god not with fists, but with his own fragile, stubborn, and unyielding humanity. The infection was now a part of him, but in saving the world, he had also saved himself, forging his greatest weapon into his truest partner. The path ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, he didn't have to walk it alone.